on this episode of The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. You're shitting me, right? Sorry to hold things up. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, Ban-san. しばらく。不動殿もご無沙汰しています。
I knew it was direwolf. I knew the direwolf was involved somehow. Nah, that shit ain't my scene. Well, not anymore, I mean. Look, they were hard times, okay? The bastard paid for a new truck. Paid for a new truck, but he didn't pay for all the mods that the previous one had. Whatever you say, Chief. Next time you decide to enter, let me know so I can put my money on you. Hell no, I ain't sitting foot in that cess pit again. Nah, that shit ain't my scene. Well, not anymore, I mean. Look, they were hard times, okay? The bastard paid for a new truck. Paid for a new truck, but he didn't pay for all the mods that the previous one had. Whatever you say, Chief. Next time you decide to enter, let me know so I can put my money on you. Hell no, I ain't sitting foot in that cess pit again. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Trails to Daybreak. In the last part, we wrapped up the last of our 4 SPGs. We took on some big old gelatin monsters. Then we had our connection events with Ren, Miss Ashen, Rosette, and Elaine, which are nice. Then we set out to help out Mr. Zen to do whatever it is he's doing down in the underworld. So let's see what we're looking for. You're shitting me, right? Sorry to hold things up. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah, Ban-san. しばらく。不動殿もご無沙汰しています。
I knew it was direwolf. I knew the direwolf was involved somehow.
しかしお前まで来るとはな、アークライド。
I'm just here to do him a favor. But if I'd known you were coming to see scumbags like you, I would have turned him down. I would have turned him straight down. Come on now, we don't need to be like that. I knew you were in the Calvari, but it's hard to believe it's been 2 years since I last saw your face, eh, Walter? Not since Jormungandr, huh? Bugged the hell out of me when we weren't even able to use that chance to settle the score between us. Same here. So, I'm sure it's no coincidence I was suddenly able to meet you so easily. I spoke to these two before you showed up before. Meetups like this here and there aren't such a bad idea of how little we know about these guys. I see now. We're all after Armada, so we're here to trade information on them. Didn't think I had a chance to get into a guy in this major. So, who's our imposing friend?
自分についてはいないものとして扱っていただこう。偶然飲み屋で行き合わせた旅行者とでも思ってくれればいい。
That's asking a lot. Though the coat of you being part of this group gives me an idea who you're affiliated with. To kick this off, it's proving impossible to even learn more about Armada at this point. Heard a report the other day that a bracelet on an undercover op on them still hasn't come back. We have been in much the same position ever since the situation in Langport. Not long ago, a cold-blooded warning video was sent to our Council of Elders. The kind meant to serve as an example. Ugh. They just keep getting worse. We've had nothing like that on our end, but there is one guy up top who can't seem to wipe the smile off his face since they cropped up. He's one real shitbag, so if he likes them, you know they're real monsters. Sounds to me we all think we're better off crushing them before they become even more of a headache. This guy. He the one you mentioned a while back?
破壊のおっさんのリクエストだ。少しばかり話を聞かせてもらおうか。
Infamous fourth Angli, huh? Doesn't quite sit right. I imagine our definitions of crush differ here, but at least we know where we all stand. Save for our friend keeping his cards to his chest there anyway. Sounds like the CID is up to something too. Still, I wish I could figure out what their boss is thinking. Old Rocksmith's successor, huh? Heard some colorful rumors about him myself. But knowing he's turned a blind eye to a hole like this makes him all right in my book. Indeed, President Rocksmith was a broad-minded fellow in his own right. But the current president has proven even more receptive towards us. Some of the elders are rather fond of him. Though that does also make him far more formidable foe during negotiations. From our perspective, the president's willingness to work with you guys is one giant flapping red flag. Oh, do not misunderstand. All our cooperative efforts are in line with their guild's code. Heaven forbid otherwise. Can you guys not probe each other while I'm stuck right in the middle? I feel like I don't even need to be here anymore. Easy, Arkwright. Your part's just about to come up. Well,
めったにない機会におあつらえ向きの場所。
am I gonna fight him?
消化不良だった2年前の続き、片付けたいのはてめえも同じだろうが。
違いない。
Wait, you saw this coming, didn't you? Hell no, I ain't here to watch two monsters beating the crap out of.
つうわけでアークライト、白蘭流も付き合ってけや。なーに、これもあくまで交流だ。お互いのことを分かり合うっつうな。
Huh?
達人同士の立ち合いに水を差すのも気が引けますが。不動殿にバンさんの手並みを拝見できるのなら仕方ありませんね。
Well, you should be.
すまんなアークライド。そういうわけで付き合ってくれ。俺とこいつだけじゃタガが外れて周りにどれだけ被害を出すかわからんからな。
Damn asshole.
立ち会いは自分が引き受けよう。方々、存分にやり合われるがよい。
Well, I used to look for this. You're welcome to my spot, you know.
それはまたの機会ということで。
いざ尋常に勝負。
Oh boy. Oh, I'm actually using Zen.
楽しませてもらおうじゃねえ
Oh
か。
boy. This will be a fun fight.
お願いしますよ。
I mean, if I die, we'll have since fucking Sky, haven't we? It's been so long. And Chao. Have you ever fought Chao before?
おらおらどうした？
The Thunder Kick. Oh, because that was his break that he used.
おや、
Alright.
そんなものです。
What do you got, man? Aegis Shield?
封じの刃よ。うがて。
無駄だ。食い破れ。ボルガークロー。
上等だ。
Alright. Alright.
呪いぜ。
Got 3,000 shield, that's nice.
隙にはさせん。
Alright.
こいつはどうだ。吹き飛べ。
赤き刃よ。貫け。
こちらの番だ。こいつは効くぜ。
砕けろ。レイザー。ハリケーン。みなぎるぜ。
Alright. Stab. Ah, you suck.
覚悟はいいな。こいつはどうだ。吹き飛べ。まだまだ。
高ぶりますね。
Oh boy.
食い破れボルガークロ
安定乱開チャンスだ。
オラオラどうした。覚悟を決めな。せいダンダーライスライダーいいね。
He's gone. You're gone too?
やりますね。
Alright, that wasn't so bad.
準 S 級か。なんで受けねえんだ。
まだ足りんというだけさ。タイトとは関係ない。お前をここで止められれば少しは自信がつくというものだがな。
面白えじゃねえか。
Whoa, the hell are you? Hold on a sec. This is looking real bad. I got scrapped. I can't move. There's no stopping this. I'm honored to bear witness.
いい加減になさい。
Oh, who's this lady? Oh, it's you. You even turning my controller off. Well, then. Showed up just in time. You're.
キリカ。
意外と早かったな。もう少しくらいは粘れると思ったが。
男同士、積もる話でもあるだろうと気を使って見逃してあげてれば。準 S 級にナンバー8がいい年して何をやっているのかしら。
まあ待て。元はといえばこいつがだな。
ああ？てめえも乗ってただろうが。
Looking more and more like infants from where I'm standing. What a shame. I was rather looking forward to seeing that to its end. You are a force to be reckoned with, Flying Swallow. It's good to see you, Spriggan. I see Zin is causing you trouble yet again. As for you, Chow, I'm sure it's alright for you to be on a crossbow after your promotion to president. Worry not, I voice all responsibility there to Yin and the SSS. This guy's no shame. Looks like you brought more suspicious folks to the party.
ああ、あたしらに文句あんのか？共和国のスプリガン。いや、崑崙流の落ちこぼれ伝承者だ。
Wait, are you?
まあまあセリスさん、すぐにガンつけるのは良くないですよ。いくら表と裏の間でフラフラしているどこの馬の骨とも知れない人だからって。
私はそこまで言ってねえぞ。お前の方が
Curious.
いやー、それにしても案内してもらった甲斐がありますね。三大憲法の使い手と東方武術を極めた蛇切手の風習使い。それにまさかあなたとこんな場所でお目にかかるなんて。
最近ちょろちょろと妙な動きをしてると思ってたが、まさか蛇とよろしくやってるとは。いい度胸してるじゃねえか。ああ、
何のことか分かりかねるな。自分は通りすがりの旅行者。彼らとは偶然居合わせたに過ぎない。捨ておいていただこうか。オルテシア卿、バルタザール卿。
って認めてんじゃねえか。
面白い人だな、副兵長さんは。
お前も大変だな。こんな跳ねっ返りどもの引率とは。
まあ、一応協定を結んでいるから、あなたたちにはうってつけでしょうし。
こら、誰が跳ねっ返りだって？ブーブー言わせてるみてえだが、いい気になんなよ、野生犬のおっさん。そこの堅物とまとめて思い知らせてやってもいいんだぜ。
へえ。どう思い知らせてくれんだ、小娘。背中のでかいのに振り回されてそうだが、毛も生え揃ってなさそうなガキのくせ。
27だ。
え？
私は27だ。文句あるか？
ああ、そう。まあ、需要はあんじゃねえのか。
殺す。
ああ、踏んじゃいましたね。背と童顔だけは禁句なんですから。
リオン、てめえも殺す。
Also bad.
なくらいと代わりに相手でもしてやれよ。
Why me? I have a feeling I know that where these are from. These are from.
いました。
Guys?
サオつうかなんだそのカオスなメンツ。
Well, if it isn't Aaron. How'd you even find this place? I thought I threw you off my tail.
まったく中途半端に関わらせるからこうなるのよ。
Elaine. I didn't think you'd wander down here too. Wait, isn't she the one and only Beauty's blade, but the woman next to her?
アニエスさんたちがあなたを探してるのを見かけてね。ちょっと迷ったけど心当たりがあったから連れてきたわ。申し訳ありません。ここまでの状況になっているとはつゆ知らずですが、なるほど、興味深い場所ですね。
Well, I was gonna bring you down here at some point. But what's with you beating me to it, Elaine? You're the one who's constantly harping on about keeping me out of danger. You going senile, we're used to danger. Besides, I see some other kids down here too. I know that you have your best interests at heart, but no one likes being kept at arm's length forever. Sorry for the trouble this ended up causing you, man. But hey, it ended up being a good chance to teach him about this place, no? Oh please, don't start acting like you did nothing wrong. I'll say, I have some choice words for you too, Zen. You didn't think to discuss your coming here with anyone else. Quite the arrogant move on your part. Well... Well, fun's over. I've had enough of being here. Tonight was more about saying hi anyway. I've done what I came for. Walter. We will see each other again at some point, even if the only other place I can imagine that happening is your prison cell. Well, kind strangers, if you'll excuse me. Yeah, that's enough hellos. Sorry for making you show us down, your chief. We're out of here. See you all around sometime. I wouldn't be surprised if we met again, though that depends on what A does.
さて一段落したところで残った顔ぶれで改めて情報交換といきましょうか。
あんたはマジでブレねえな。
So there's no room for doubt then. Obama's got some other organization working for him. So it would appear. Their funding is at least partly coming from those folk funded liberation terrorism of the past too. That's awful. Obama was telling us about that not too long ago. Our company's risk assessment led us to the same conclusion. Up until a few years ago, racial motivated attacks on those of Eastern and Central Eastern descent were all too common. They were known to be orchestrated by white supremacist groups who traced their origins back to the Old Kingdom. But the situation changed significantly when a rather large group attacked the trade conference in Crossville 4 years ago. Unfortunately, we were able to quell the situation thanks to an insurance policy we had in place. And as soon as the crisis was put to rest, the former president started an aggressive crackdown on those groups. You didn't hear much of them after that. Then the postal reparations put the entire issue on the back burner. That's not to say they disbanded, however. If anything, the economic prosperity provided an ideal cover for them to continue in secret. And now that cover is coming to an end, bringing the issue to them to the surface once again. Well, I don't know how those assholes are tied to Armada, but if they've got all those fat stacks at their disposal, that explains how they got so big so fast. Yeah, and with that kind of mirror, they could bring people on the outside into the fold. Like the group Melchior and that new puppeteer came from. A group who were able to wipe out a high-ranking company, Jaegers, single-handedly, and likely with special abilities at their disposal. So they are from the Gardens. I'm thoroughly unsurprised you've heard of them. Few have, even in the criminal underworld. What's the Gardens? Is it some kind of group? They're a criminal organization that's of a different breed of Tamakas like Armada. They don't have much in common with the society either in minds. We first learned of their existence 9 years ago. Their modus operandi is gathering orphans and giving them a first-class education in assassination. Oh shit! Is it the same group that those the two new that one guy and girl came from in Reverie? Damn, didn't know stuff like that was even real. Unfortunately, it very much is. Their members aren't few in number, but they complete their missions with startling success. The organization is divided into several groups called Gardens, with each being led by an overseer. We are aware of their presence at Marduk as well. Their threat level is considered to be S+. Internally, it was at one point where they believed that most unsolved assassinations were their handiwork. Yeah, you can imagine the headache when we even had another group trying to mimic their playbook. Still, their name hasn't cropped up very much over the past couple years. Not since the overseer of the Garden of Swords was taken out by 2 members who fled the organization. I know who they're talking about. It's the girl and guy from Reverie. Oh wow, I feel like I've heard that story somewhere before. What is it, Vaughn? Nothing. Anyway, now we know that a group of monsters is working with Armada. It's still a mystery how they end up that way. Same with how they wound up with all that terrorist funding. But a more pressing question is why they're working together. True. We've got 3 of the worst tiles that exist. Just a matter of working out what hand they're going for. You a Mahjong player too? I mean, you're right. We're gonna need to focus on that going forward. Indeed, albeit in our own unique ways, no doubt. Well, I believe we had enough discussions for one day. Still, it seems clear there's more room for negotiation between us and some of the other groups going forward. I am almost humbled you're including us in that. Well, I don't know about you and Geen, but Hayway has his moderates too, like Fawn. I take it we can include you guys in that too, Arkride? Goes without saying. Hell, we're the common thread between all of you. And you're just gonna keep using us as the bridge between you anyways. Got that right, so we would, but of course. Stop being so in sync! I see it didn't take long to adjust to life in the capital. Just bear in mind that Lady Ashe is rather worried about you back in Langport. Do try to exercise restraint in your daily life, Man, she could stand to chill out a little, and you should be the one checking in on home more often. How's Zin doing? Jin? How's Jin doing, by the way? He's been abroad in River Ferry for half a year now, right? I believe he's doing rather well. He attends a distinguished middle school there and is blessed with many good friends. Come to think of it, Chief, I know you go way back with him in Direwood. But I would have figured Renee would have handled this kind of thing. That's right. The smart guy you and Elaine grew up with, yeah? He's actually quite occupied with another case for us. As for what that case is, you will soon see. Huh? That's sure an honest way of putting it. Oh boy. Oh boy. She's one of the more reasonable ones too. Why can't the CID be staffed by more normal people? Forgive me for saying so, but you're a fine one to talk. Yeah, I can't believe you came to a place like this without us. Kind of pisses me off I let you shake me in the first place, but that's in the past now. So, just what is this place? It's called the Blacklight District. It's the city's unofficial 13th district, and its dark side. A lawless zone that changes locations from time to time and that few cops dare to tread. It's home to criminals of every kind. Good place for them to get together, too. I think that all this time, such a place was right under my nose. You know, I feel like Abby said something about it to me before. I was aware of its existence, but this is my first time seeing it in person. It looked like a combination of multiple underground or areas that went unused during the city's urban planning. Good spot to hang out. We gotta walk through the whole damn maze just to get here. An underground coliseum and contraband as far as the eye can see. It's like it was made for me. Well, too late to do anything now that you're here. I'm gonna guess people stayed away because you had a lane, but people are always getting into scuffles around here. So let me teach you how to speak this language. We'll take a tour while we do, but just keep your eyes peeled, alright? Right. Of course. I'm down. Christ. I can fly and walk around. That. Alright. Let's walk around here in this sketchy environment.
だんだん方向感覚がなくなってきましたしっかりマッピングしていますのでご安心をどれも美味しいよ
Give me your food.
また来てね本当に飲み屋さんが多いですねあ、試合をやってますよ
ここが闘技場か
Yep, this here is where they hold fighting tournaments. You go in and beat the shit out of each other. Thanks for a gambling hotbeds, as you can imagine. Oh? Color me intrigued. Oh, it's awesome. Sounds like an amazing place to train. Yeah, no. Literally anything goes in there. Roids, mods, explosives, you name it. Ain't the place to train. It's straight up blood sport. It's straight up blood sport in there. The organizers will even come up with bullshit reasons to make you fight monsters in archaisms. Even if you survive all that shit they throw at you, it really ain't worth it. Just steer clear of it, alright? That's fair. Sounds like you really have to be on your toes in there. Pretty decent prize money if you win, though. I'll give them that much credit. So it's one way to make ends meet down here. Mr. Arkwright, not speaking from experience, are you? Nah, that shit ain't my scene. Well, not anymore, I mean. Look, they were hard times, okay? The bastard paid for a new truck, but he didn't pay for all the mods that the previous one had. Whatever you say, Chief. Next time you decide to enter, let me know so I can put my money on you. Hell no, I ain't sitting foot in that cesspit again. Well, what can you do? Kind of hard to tell where all the shops are because the maps kind of like overlap. Oh, hey, it's a doctor. Ah, the Spriggan and his lovely assistants again. I see you've added some new faces to your ranks since we last met. What brings you here? Somebody hurt I need to take a look at? Alright. It's about. I didn't know you worked down here. What, she a friend of yours or something? Well, not exactly. She was a client we did some work after first joined. Yep, as you can probably tell, she's pretty renowned doc in the underbelly. But not my first choice for treatment. She'll patch you up, but gouge your wallet too. But hey, she's always around when you never need it. Ouch! That's a little mean, don't you think? I'm not some scam artist. I just know what I'm worth. Money talks after all, and I listen. Green is a language we understand. Money talks? I didn't know they printed talking money. Oh, fairy. I'll take your word for it. You sound like a really skilled doctor. What the fuck is all this shit? Wait, is this actual like drinks? Wait, this can't be food, right? No way this is food. I don't need any of that shit. This map's kind of confusing because it goes up, down, and under. What about that? Don't want that. What's in there? The road. Oh well, guess I'll never know. think
早く決めちゃいな。
Okay, I already talked to you. Alright.
ごちそうさん。
ごちそうさま
Eat
でし
some
た。
foods.
満腹だ。
Nice!
ごちそうさまでした。
Alright. So I think you've checked out all the shops you can. Wait, no. Did I check that one? It's way down. I don't think I checked that one over there, because I kind of avoid that area. Alright. One more shop we gotta check out. Alright.
覚悟しろや。
上等じゃねえか。
仕方ありません。
そこだ、フェリー。
Your gun. Oh, yeah, yeah.
チャンスです。スキアリ
フィーバータイムだ。
今です。
おら。お返しだ。
Take that!
攻撃です。
Zero arts for me!
それ。
そこだ、フェリー。おら、返り討ちだ。
そこで崩れました。
チャンスだ。マジかよ。頼む、アニエス。
Alright.
それ。
Oh, you miss!
もらった。返り討ちだ。
おまけです。
続けやバン。
Gotta get my CP back.
おまけです。
頼む。押せ。やろう。
Alright. I'm sure you guys figured it out, but the Blacklight District ain't exactly the kind of place you visit for fun. Baron's another story, but the rest of you make easy pickings for scumbags and lowlifes hacking it down here. You don't come down here by yourselves, understood? Yeah, I get what you mean. Things can get really dicey if you get surrounded here. But if you bring a buddy along, I'd bet it'd make for a fun fight. Well, ideally you won't be fighting in a city at all. Still, I didn't realize there were so many people like that down here. Yep, pretty spooky when you think about it. This world's a lot closer to yours than you might be comfortable with. It is, but honestly, I'm just more surprised that this all existed right under my nose. At least it's surprising that someone as well-to-do as me. Perhaps I'm just not very well aware of my surroundings. You'd think that this would be something of a problem, but it's not like everyone. It's like everyone turns a blind eye to it. I hear ya. Blacklight's the lowest place, but they have their own rules instead. That being the big one being, you don't drag innocent civilians into your messes down here. Most tend to follow that, so they'll leave you alone. Keyword being most. Some of them step out of line like we just saw. Reminds me of Hayway's own code. Do you visit here often, Mr. Arkwright? You seem to be rather well informed about this place. I check in from time to time. There's intel down here that you can't find anywhere else. As you guys might have noticed by now, it's a good place to sharpen your street smarts. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. It's gotta be like the best part about this whole trip. Man, Jaeger born and bred, ain't you? Huh. Alright. Oh, good.
いけない子ね。
By that,
いけまた来なさいな。
Eden Adult Shop. Hey, Missy. Just want to add this one unknown Spriggan. What brings you here, darling? Got time to stay and play? Your lady friends are more than welcome to join you, but if they're up for it. We got girls that know how to keep a woman company, too. You'll be drowning in pleasures that you can't find anywhere else on the surface. I can promise you that. Stay a while, won't you, big guy? I don't get it. What kind of place is this? Feels alluring. I feel drawn to it, but I really don't want to know why. I've never felt like this before. Hard no. Letting you two waltz in there is just asking for trouble. And you don't even think about sneaking inside while I'm not looking, punk. I'm an adult. What do you care? What do you care how I spend my time for my free time? Sometimes the guy needs to just let it hang, you know? I care because you'll get hooked on that shit in 2 seconds. Can't trust your horny ass to stay out of trouble. I think most of the girls still have some growing up to do. This little services aside, I still got some things for sale here. Alright. I'm good. It appears she and Mr. Ark are acquainted with one another. Where is she? She really is quite the way with words. Oh boy. Ain't that? Probably best not to bite off that. Alright, well, we've seen all the shots we can probably get. So. Alright. Let's get out of here. This place is dreary. I don't like it. Oh, you know what? I just realized we haven't checked out any bulletin boards here. Don't sweat that. As a rule, I don't take it for SPGs from anyone down here. Why not? There are a lot of people here who could use some help, aren't there? For real. Nobody down here is exactly innocent, so I can't imagine any of them being able to go to comms and braces for help. That's the problem. There's some rare exceptions, but almost everyone down here has a checkered past in some way. Ultimately, I can't trust them not to abuse the system. Worst case scenario, I get farmed out as a grunt for some real sketchy shit. Not worth it. That does make sense, given Spriggan's reputation for assisting in legally gray areas. I can see how a bad faith actor might exploit them for their own gain, and how society at large would offer little to defend them. To be clear, I already make a point of filtering out those garbage posts to start with. More than anything else, they just be a giant time sink, trying to vet requests from these parts. That's the biggest reason I don't bother. As much as some folks might think otherwise, I don't deal with criminals. I deal with people who have complicated problems. When somebody has a problem they can't rely on the law of a guild to solve, they come to me. That's all there is to it. That's fun for you. What can I say? It's worked for me so far. Must be doing something right. End of the day, if someone here really wants my services, they're not completely out of luck. They still got 2 options. They can post a 4SPG in another part of town, or they can talk to me. Same as everybody else, really. Doesn't mean I'll agree to help, but I'll hear them out, at least. That's our boss, always trying to keep the door open. You know, it's probably a smart thing to do, because I don't want to imagine what types of requests you get down here. I'm out of here. This dark and dank place. After leaving the district, they made their way to the service, following a different route. Damn, it's already this late. We're down there a while. It connects to Riverside District too. Feels like waking up from a dream. Guess it was all a bit too much for a kid. Speaking of kids, seems like that boy we ran into is the son of a Jaeger. I really liked it down there. Shady criminals excluded. It was like a conflict that could break out any second. A perfect place for training. Not this again. At least it hadn't fully descended into anarchy, and if the rules were somewhat lax. It seemed like a good place to procure goods and materials you can't get on the surface. Yeah, don't want anyone getting hooked on the place, but use it when you need to. Just follow the rules. That goes for you in particular, Aaron. You okay, Agnes? You're awfully quiet. No, I'm perfectly fine. There's just a lot to take in. I'm feeling a bit of a culture shock, I suppose. I can hardly blame you. I'm sorry, I was probably making you feel even worse than how you carried weight I was getting. Oh, you didn't need to feel responsible. It's just, to be honest, I've got something else on my mind too. It does kind of feel like something's been eating at you lately. Worried about things at school? Yes, actually. There's a major opportunity coming up and I was considering opting into, but I think I've decided against it. There's nothing more it can teach me that I haven't learned already after all. Oh?
Yeah, 情報通りだね。
What the fuck you guys doing here?
10日ぶりくらいか。また会えて嬉しいよ、諸君。
ご無沙汰しております。
Alright. Your Highness! Naji! Damn, talk about showing up unexpected. So this is what the chief was talking about.
ああ、そういうことだ。殿下と合わせて話がある。お前たちも乗ってもらおうか。
It's so spacious in here. This here is an ETWS stretch them, alright? Hell of a luxury. Right, smooth as a baby's ass, too. Still room to move up in the world, huh? The suspension systems in a luxury vehicle like this versus my pickup are built but for totally different things. Speaking of, I take it you like the part I sent you? I got it on a special order to ensure it didn't clash with the aesthetic of your truck. Oh, like undersells it. It's a thing of beauty. Even if that ulterior motive behind sending it wasn't just in my head. Still, I'm glad you're both looking well. Thank you. My apologies again for all the trouble we caused you. We weren't expecting to see you all again so soon either. But we were already here for a visit with the president, so the timing happened to line up. What? Oh, that Gramhart guy. Huh. Didn't see anything about a meeting on the news. Some kind of secret talks. You need to concern yourself with the details that are on a need-to-know basis. Well, we are living in crazy times. No doubt there's plenty of our leaders to be talking about. Much as it bugs me that you clearly got something besides that you want to dump on us. Oh? I think I see what's going on.
この場を設けたのは他でもない。君たちに新たな依頼をしたいんだ。エルザイムと CID の共同依頼という形でね。
That's quite the pair. I'm committing to nothing but keep going.
単刀直入に言えば出張に行ってもらいたいのだよ。共和国南西バーゼル市カノベルヌ社の本拠地にね。
That's kind of what's biggest orbit manufacturer, isn't it? It sounds like a big one.
こちらをご覧ください。
ベルヌグループの本拠地であり、バーゼル理科大学を擁する学術工業都市。中世の職人街もあり、美しい自然にも囲まれたこの地で、現在とある異変が起きている。具体的には都市内の動力ネットと工業用の動力供給網の不安定化、さらには見慣れる者たちが市内に出没しているというな。
Don't tell me it's... I know what you're thinking, but we can't assume that until we have all the facts, of which we have very little. Under normal circumstances, we would be well informed of the situation, as our country has deep ties with the Institute. Unfortunately, its director, who also happens to be Vern's CEO, has been notably unforthcoming as of late. That's strange. Isn't your country one of Vern's largest shareholders? Yes, it is. We're not their principal shareholder, but we still wield considerable influence over the company. Yet, in spite of that, the CEO has been empathetically vague in response to our questions. We suspect he is merely buying time. For what, though, I do not know. The sudden shift in behavior indicates he's hiding something, hence my request to you. You're not giving me much to work with here, and if you're looking for a technical expert, you've come to the wrong place. Oh, I beg to differ. After all, you have one of Marduk's very own concierges in your employ. Also, a little bird told me you're testing some revolutionary new technology at present. Oh, you mean the Simu thingy? It's still undergoing testing, but we plan to reveal it to the public eventually. Good to hear. I'll mostly certainly be looking forward to it. Anyhow, if we took our request to the guild, it would land at the bottom of the list of priorities, given that no civilian casualties have occurred. Also, much like the police, they're as wary as a fox with those sorts of mysteries. Right, and if we're on the job, we can deal with any problems that you'd rather keep away from the public eye. The conditions are fair, but you better be willing to pay up top mirror for our services, or you can cut us out. Oh, you ain't really there. If anything, that makes me more trustworthy in my book. Is that a fact? Well, I think we should definitely consider taking this on, especially if Almana's involved. If possible, I'd like to ask one thing before we agree to take this on. What's the status connection to this case? You haven't been upfront about that. Oh? Ever the sharp one. Bern and the Institute are currently part of two national projects. One of them is making the Zypha standard available to the general public, both at home and abroad. The technology is a national secret, so our involvement should be no surprise. Makes sense. Gotta stay on top of any leaks and scandals so they don't slip through the cracks. What about the other project? Classified. Aw, come on! Boo! Even I don't know the specifics there, so I'm in the same boat as you all. I did try to press the president for details, but he simply wouldn't budge. Apologies, but that's all the more reason why I cannot divulge any information on the project. The point is, there are many other reasons for our involvement. This all sounds fishy as hell, but whatever. Get on with it. As you wish. The issue with the Zappa standard's funding sources also need to be addressed. And I will delegate that task to your group's chief and concierge. Huh? What do you mean? Since when did you become my boss? Fine, I'll explain. Zappa being Vern's 6th generation combat orbit is common knowledge at this point. But there's a little known fact about the project's humble beginnings. It got a massive capital injection from an interested party. And that party just happens to be the Valis Investment Bank, which, as it so happens, is also the largest shareholder of Marduk, my employer. I see. Sure feels like I'm hearing the name Valis a lot lately. Valis? As in the city-state? Correct, with the giant port city in the Central East. We may not have much land, but through trade in the South Seas, people amass a great fortune, which they are investing all over the continent. They're both our allies and our competitors. The Valis Investment Bank is owned by them. So you're trying to drag our ass into Central Eastern Turf War, so also you can be your eyes and ears. Well, I guess they could be sending in their own spies, especially with state-level secrets up for grabs. In short, he wants to investigate a highly complex situation from a neutral standpoint and get to the bottom of what's happening there. Does that sum it up? I'll give you an 85 for that answer. In the event that Valis attempts to interfere, we would also like you to act as a mediator. You've got all this mapped out. Mediation is not one of our specialties, unfortunately, so I'm not certain if you are your best option for that. On the contrary, I think you all are your safest bet on that front. Should you take up a request, you'll stay in Basel for 3 days. I'm sure there'll be other 4 SPGs you can juggle at the same time. We can't expect you to leave at once, but it'll be best if you depart within the next few days. Wait. Alright, we'll give it some thought when we get back. Can't make any promises. I understand. There won't be a lot of options if you refuse. The CID never puts all its eggs in one basket. Regardless, everything you told you is strictly confidential. Though I think a rather unexpected issue might work in our favor here. After that, Prince Sherid and Kincaid saw them back to the office. They rather enjoy the meal at Montmartre before gathering to discuss the Crown Prince's request. Take you ain't heard a thing about this thing from your company. And I'm naturally aware of the plan to make the Zypha standard available to the masses, but not about the problems in Basel. If A really is involved, I would expect to have already been informed. Gotcha. It does sound like something that'd take us 3 days anyway, either way. But if we're looking into things at Vern and the Institute, we're gonna need to work mostly weekdays. But that would mean Agnes. Actually, the timing here is rather perfect. You see, wow, high school here sounds really fun. Trust a big school in the capital to bust out the fancy trips. Aramis is all about students thinking for themselves, so something like this makes sense. Bet you'll have reports to read for days about it too. Yes, actually, some of my friends who came here the other day are considering Basel too. I was interested in going myself, but I wasn't sure whether or not that was the best decision. But you'll be leaving next Thursday for 3 days, so the time matches up splendidly. If someone says that Farusha wants this to happen. Oh, not that I think my personal circumstances should push us into taking this on, of course. Of course, that goes both ways. You're a student first, so don't go forcing your decision. To line up with our job. Even if we do end up in the same general place, your studies might mean we won't even see each other. Well, I suppose that's true. But it still kind of hurts. Huh? That's rich coming from a guy who always decides to go based on who'll shove dessert down his throat. Speaking of which, what are we gonna do with Basil? Define Basil on that front. Excellent question. A baked tart called an engadine is probably the most famous. It's made of walnuts and honey nougat and has a simple mellow taste that's just. I suppose Vaughn's right. I need to make up my own mind about what to do. Otherwise, my great-grandpa would never, or dad for that matter. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cause you disconcern. Not at all, I don't think anyone could blame you for feeling conflicted here. But should we end up going to the same place, rest assured that I will do all I can to support you. She's way too perceptive. Thank you, but why... Oh. No way. I'll speak to my friends at school tomorrow. But if you could work under the assumption we'll all be going and prepare accordingly. Got it. But don't forget that I'm a student first and foremost, right? I won't. I'll make this work so I can handle my obligations properly, both here and at school. Well, good night. Yeah, night. So I guess we'll be leaving next Thursday. Same day as Aramis. But Renee and the prince have just dumped this on us, so they can wait until tomorrow for an answer. Still, she's sure looking brighter than when I met her. With how much she's got waiting on her, I'm sure she's still got a lot of work through. Got a lot to work through. But I'll look out for her as best I can, being her boss and all. Man, that sure was a day. I guess I'll go for a walk and wind down before bed. Not today, because we're at that point in time. So when we come back, we'll take another night stroll around the city, see what we can find around, see what kind of movie we can watch, and we'll find out what happens. We'll get our trip ready to go for our next big adventure. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then. Later.